welcome back to the 10 days of Galentine. This whole series is dedicated to making sure all the girlies watching this develop a better relationship with themselves and, as a knock-on effect, a better relationship with all those around them in this season of love. This series is going to be available on Spotify as well as on here, but today's episode, we're going to be talking about all the ways that we can pour back into ourselves to grow. We're going to be talking about Valentine's Day, solo date rituals. Whenever I have conversations with my friends, especially those who used to be in relationships or are used to being in relationships and now they're single, they don't know what to do. Me personally, I love having free time. I love having alone time and I make the most of it. I'm never, ever usually bored. Then when they complain that they're bored, I'm like, oh, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And their response is always, well, I can't do that by myself. Like, why? That's so weird. Why would you do that by yourself? Why would you not? You were brought into this earth alone. You are going to go out of this earth alone, regardless of whether you have a partner or not. So why would you not have fun with yourself, have fun by yourself? So the first thing that I usually always recommend to other people, and that I do as well, is write yourself love letters. I do this every single Valentine's Day for myself, and I'm going to keep doing it whether I have a partner or not. This is such a fitting thing to do in this season because love letters are obviously very romantic, and if you're somebody that struggles to articulate what they're thinking, this is one of the best ways to do that because it forces you to think through your feelings, your thoughts with a pen and paper. You will have clarity in your thoughts and in your feelings as well towards your partner, towards yourself, towards whatever that you're writing about. You could do whatever on the sheet. For all my girlies that are avoidant and don't like vulnerability for some reason and intimacy scares them, this is one of the best ways to be comfortable in expressing your feelings and expressing yourself. And I used to be one of those girls. I used to not like talking about my feelings at all. So I started writing love letters because then once I would write the love letters to myself, I had to force myself to write about my feelings. It was more comfortable knowing that nobody else was going to see them. But because I was practicing expressing my feelings in the first place, when I got into relationships, either with friends or with romantic partners, I was able to be vulnerable with them because I had practiced doing so. This is my Valentine's Day tradition. And I started doing this, I think 4 years ago, 4 years ago. And let me tell you, every single year I look at my letters that I've written, I just fall more and more in love with myself. Like, it's so apparent in the letters. In the first letters, I can see that maybe I was a little bit unsure, maybe insecure about either my love life or myself or my friends or whatever. And then as the years progressed, as I got more comfortable writing about myself and about my life and expressing my feelings and articulating my thoughts and all of that, it became I could see the difference. I can see the difference in the way that I viewed myself through my letters. And I think it's so beautiful to watch yourself progress like that. Every time I always talk about a change in season on my channel, I just love talking about going and actually interacting with the season that is changing. Obviously, the next thing I'm going to tell you to do, have a nature walk or a nature hike. I also do this every Valentine's Day. Whether I have plans in the evening or not, in the morning or the afternoon, I go on my hike or I go on my walk, and then when I come back, I write my love letter. Or if I'm hiking up somewhere really pretty, I will bring the stuff to write the love letter for with me, and I'll write the love letter whilst I'm up on the mountain or whatever. Nature walks or hiking, to me, it's the peak of self-care. I'm literally uncontactable. This is me time, strictly me time. Nobody can call me, probably because there's no service, or also because my phone is always on D&D. It's just me, the birds, the sky, God. And that's it. And it's very calming. There's something very calming about just being alone. Usually I take that time as a prolonged deep breath because I think it's very difficult sometimes, especially with the hustle and bustle of life, for you to get time to just kind of breathe. Remember, you're here, you're existing. Let's calm down because we're always on autopilot. But if you don't really like thinking for a prolonged period of time, or you just don't like being in your head too much, just exist up in the mountain. You don't have to think about anything if you don't want to. Just be up there, look at everything, go bird watching. Just allow yourself to slow down and take the time to actually be present. So good for your hormones, so good for your mental. Of course, in the season of love, right, we are not gonna talk about Valentine's Day, loving ourselves, without talking about romance movie marathons. Learning to host for my friends and becoming a fabulous hostess is something that is going to be on my goals list next year, probably. But this is a solo date. I'm hosting for a party of one. Me. So why not watch things that make me happy and fill me with love? You best believe I'm going to make this a whole thing. But I remember for last year, what I did, I got my bottle of non-alcoholic wine because I don't drink, high-end or luxury chocolate. I made sure they were pretty and I made sure that I would like the way that they taste. Silk pajamas, did my skincare, and I watched a movie. Definitely this year, if you want to join me and we can do it together, I'm definitely going to be going for a movie that's like enemies to lovers. I probably will also watch Pretty Women because I love Pretty Women. Or just like any romance movie that's like overly romantic, like sappy. I will eat it up every single time. You're like programming yourself and conditioning yourself to want that kind of love. There used to be terrible movies out in the media and then everybody was like, oh, struggle love, ride or die. What the hell? Absolutely not. Yearning, love, romance. That's what I want. And the last romance thing that you can do in this season of love to pour back into yourself is to stargaze. When I was thinking about this, the sky was so clear and I went stargazing a couple times a couple weeks ago. It was just so beautiful. It was so beautiful. It had such an air of romance to it. So I thought that I would write this down to suggest for you guys to do, because I think that even though the sky is very all-encompassing, we forget that it's there. I don't think a lot of us take enough time to just appreciate what's around us and just spend time and look at how wonderful something is and like fall in love with it all over again. So I think that this is a perfect activity to just do to pour back into yourself this season of love, because you are doing something that is lovely. I mean, a lot of people do it when they're going on dates with their significant others. They stargaze and it's very intimate. So imagine just being there by yourself stargazing, very quiet, very solitary. It's not very busy, you're not overstimulating yourself like maybe how like a movie and like all those snacks and things would do. I always feel better whenever I do it. I always feel just like you guys should try it, see how it makes you feel. If you like it, go ahead and do it again. If you don't like how standstill it is, maybe have a playlist that you're listening to whilst it's happening. That's what I usually do. I listen to music when I'm on my walk or when I'm stargazing. I genuinely think that you do need to take time to pour back into yourself, not just in this season of love, but all year round. All of you who maybe didn't think to pour back into yourself, and think about that now. Pour back into yourself today. Love yourself today. I don't think it's fair for you to love everybody else and then have nothing for yourself. You were showing yourself that you were not important. You were showing yourself that you can be at a deficit when everybody else is at a surplus. If you want to be somebody that puts everybody before themselves, then you need to make sure that you are filled up to the top before you can pour into other people. Prioritize yourself. Care for yourself, love yourself, not just with affirmations, but with actions. Have your actions align with your words. Affirm yourself and do something about it. Affirm yourself and take yourself out. Affirm yourself and pour back into yourself. All of these things are going to match together and it will increase your self-love, increase your happiness on a day-to-day basis, increase your mental clarity, and just make sure that you are okay as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed and took some things away today just to pour back into yourself in this season of love. Remember, the 10 Days of Galentines series will be available on this channel, and also there will be an audio version on Spotify if you're not able to watch these videos fully. So go ahead and check that out if you want a different version of it. Make sure to follow me on all my social media, and also because the series is coming out, you don't want to miss, okay? So go ahead and subscribe and click the notification bell beside the subscribe button so that you can get notified every time I post. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Make sure to leave a comment. I read all of my comments. I want to know what you're thinking, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.